What's up guys, Kizzle here and welcome back to another episode of this Crystal Palace FIFA 16 career mode. Over the last couple of weeks we've been doing, what you can only say is okay. We've dropped a few points in games that we really should have won, but in contrast, in the cup competitions we've shown a massive improvement on last year and seem to be cruising along quite nicely. We're looking to add to the squad here. Of course, the transfer window is open. We're in need of a left back, so Kieran Gibbs and Eric Durm are the two targets in terms of bringing in a player of that position. We're making a bid here of 6 million plus Pat Soiree for Kieran Gibbs in the hope that that will tempt Arsenal to allow us to talk to him. He's got that experience at this level. He's English. There's a lot of reasons why you'd want to bring Kieran Gibbs to the club. We really feel he would boost and strengthen the squad. But we're taking on a team here, Newcastle, in our first game, who we've traditionally struggled against. We haven't done very well against them at all. Berahino is going to be the man leading the line. Zaha and Balassi out wide. Ledley, Cabaye and Coquelin in the midfield, and Vestergaard will partner Kurt Zouma at the back. Newcastle got some tricky players of their own. Obviously Cabello has got plenty of pace, Wijnaldum and Mitrovic up top as well. He can be a handful, and CM De Jong getting a start in that cam role. He's a creative guy. We don't want to be giving him too much space as he can thread a ball through the defence. But it's Newcastle who come flying out the blocks. Wijnaldum with the early chance. We have to thank Jack Butland for being on hand to keep the score at 0-0, and then they play some cute football at the back and it very nearly cost them. We just nicked possession back. Berahino wastes no time in getting a shot away, and Tim Krul is forced into a decent save. So not a great deal of chances in the opening half hour. Both sides just sort of fighting for possession in the midfield. We create a chance again for Berahino, and again he's denied by Tim Krul. Real super save as he turns the ball behind, and from the corner Cabaye whips it to the edge of the box where Berahino himself is waiting, and he'll be disappointed not to have done better. He chested the ball down, first touch was good, ball was in front of him but he didn't quite connect with it the way he would have liked. And Newcastle came forward shortly after, and Vestergaard is forced to put in a very strong challenge. He just mistimed it slightly and concedes the free kick, picking up a yellow card in the process. That gave Newcastle a chance to put the ball in the area. Nothing really came of it. Janmaat did win the header, and the header was not on target, and luckily Jack Butland could just watch it go wide. But Newcastle started to gain control of things just before half time. It's a mistake now from Vestergaard. Finds De Jong, neat play, whipping the ball into Cabello, and how about that for a finish? No chance whatsoever from Butland. It's annoying that it comes from a defensive mistake, but once they got possession, Newcastle, they moved it around very, very quickly so he couldn't get the block in, and they find themselves 1-0 up just before half time. Can we get ourselves level then? We're working the ball quite nicely. Berahino turning his man. Is he going to get more space for a shot? He is, but the effort was not a good one. Tim Krul just gathers up the loose ball, and into first half stoppage time. Newcastle on the attack. Good challenge from Vestergaard. Also, we thought he got the ball. Player went down. It looked like a clean tackle, but the referee has come over. Not only give a free kick, but he brandishes the second yellow card as well. So we are going to have to play the entire second half a man down. Looking at the slow motion replay, he does get the ball, kind of gets it with his chest, but that doesn't matter. It looks like a textbook challenge to me. But we've been punished for it, and not only are we one down, as you can see at half time. Like I say, Newcastle have now got that one man advantage, so it's going to be difficult for us, but we are going to still look to attack, obviously being behind, get back on level terms and possibly snatch a winner if we can. Wilfred Zaha having the shot here, but Newcastle throw bodies in the way and block the effort. Balassi then cutting down the left hand side, turns back onto his favoured right foot, lays his man off on the edge of the box. Is Coquelin. The shot seemed to be heading towards that top corner, but Newcastle again chucking their bodies in the way and not letting the shot go through to goal. But De Jong here with a nice 1-2 with Wijnaldum. He finds himself completely through. Chance to double Newcastle's lead. Luckily for us, that man Jack Butland was again alert to the danger and managed to pull off another cracking save. Not for the first time in this game, but shortly after that, Janmaat went on a mazy run, fed the ball in to Sissoko. And then Butland not having his finest moment there, beaten at his near post. The shot was pretty much straight at him, but it managed to go underneath his body and work its way over the line. So with not a long time remaining in this game, Newcastle have surely secured all 3 points. We committed men forward trying to get level, and Newcastle caught us on a counter shortly after. Mitrovic cutting through. Pat Soiree come across, tried to get the ball with the challenge, got nowhere near it. And things go from bad to worse for us in terms of discipline. The referee brandishing a straight red to Soiree for that challenge. You can see as Mitrovic bursts through the defence. It's a neat link-up play again from Newcastle. I've done it a few times today, but he just lifts the ball over the challenge of Soiree, and he was helpless really. Once he'd committed, there was nothing more he could do. So we've now got 9 men. Newcastle 2-0 up inside stoppage time now. Mitrovic darting into the area. Could have gone down for a penalty, but Kurt Zouma just decides to turn the ball into his own net, really. The cross was kind of hung in the air. Butland had already committed to try and come for the cross. Zuma trying to intercept the pass. He had a man behind him in his defence, but just toe pokes it past Butland. And the final score of this one, Crystal Palace 0, Newcastle 3, at home as well. Not the results we were looking for at all, and it kind of really sums up how we've been performing in recent weeks. Jack Butland, though, was a man in demand, and it's no surprise you saw him make a hatful of saves in that last game. Lyon, Leeds United, Villarreal, lots of clubs putting in offers for him, but I think he's worth a lot more than his market value of 3.6 million. We're not going to be accepting a bid anywhere near that. Once you sell your goalkeeper, you have little time to find a replacement. It's such a key position in the side, so we're not keen to let him go at all. He's young, he's got plenty of potential, and he will develop as well. Moses Simon, on the other hand, is a forward that we're looking to bring in. 3.5 million we bid for him, and we have another offer, this time from Sheffield United, for Jack Butland. We're rejecting that, but Ryan Innes is going to move to Blackburn Rovers for a fee of just under £500,000. Our Kieran Gibbs chase ended there, as Arsenal said they were not interested in letting him join our club, which is fair enough. We have to respect that. We're not going to keep bombarding them with bids in the hope that they're going to change their mind. So our focus is now very much back onto the Premier League. We've got another tough fixture, not what you need after a heavy defeat. We're travelling to Goodison Park to take on a very strong Everton side. Lukaku, Naismith knows how to score a goal or two. Pienaar, Deulofeu, of course, plenty of pace. The Barcelona youngster. The only thing is we think they're quite weak at the back, which is something we can look to exploit. Jamie Vardy comes back into the team. Daly Sincraven involved as well. Video back in the starting 11. Martin Kelly is in for the suspended Soiree, and Mark Bartra comes in for the suspended Vestergaard. But Everton started the game very brightly. Really good link-up play here. Lukaku getting the shot away. Butland plucks it out of the air with ease, but they didn't let off. You can see 20 minutes on the clock now. They've got the wrong side of the defence again. Lukaku bearing down on goal. Coquelin comes across, tries to block the shot, but Lukaku's effort was high and wide, but the referee pointed to the penalty spot. You don't often see penalties given when players go in to block a shot and the striker gets their effort away on goal, but we can have no complaints. It's clearly a foul anywhere on the pitch. You'd expect that to be given. So Lukaku steps up straight down the middle. Jack Butland did get a hand on it, but not a strong enough one to divert the ball over the crossbar. So quite disappointed. He'd already kind of committed himself. He was wrong-footed, but had he just thrown that arm up with a bit more purpose, he could have diverted that ball over the bar. But nothing to worry about. We've got plenty of time to get back in this game. Video chipping the ball through to the pacey Jamie Vardy. He works tirelessly, of course, cuts it back onto his stronger right foot, but that's not the kind of finish you'd come to expect from him after his goal tally last season. But Lukaku was very much finding gaps in our defence, and Everton worked the ball through really nicely here. Naismith had the chance to double their lead just before the break, but Butland was again alert, making save after save in these last couple of games. That effort from Cabaye really summed up our first half as that flew high and wide. Moving into the second half, Everton continued to put us under pressure. Pienaar standing one up to the back stick where Romelu Lukaku is waiting, and he has a simple finish, just nods it into the gap at the back stick, and we find ourselves 2-0 down. It's Martin Kelly who just lost sight of him for a minute, tried to clear the ball with his feet. Would have been better going with his head, but we've been punished. So Balassi, though, picks up the ball, chips it through to Jamie Vardy at the other end, and almost instantly we reduce the deficit back to 1. That's the Jamie Vardy we used to know. That's the Vardy of old, just getting the ball over the top, controlling it in his stride, and then smashing the ball past the keeper. Haven't seen that so much from him this season. Hopefully that can kickstart his goal scoring run of form for him, I should say. We've got a lot of tired players, so Sergio Mendes and Wilfred Zaha are going to come on into this game as we look to get ourselves level. The ball finds Sincraven, and it's really late. We've got not a lot of time remaining. His effort was blocked as he tried to cut back onto his stronger left foot. We pick up the ball again, Mendes and MacArthur. Fast passing it on, Sincraven's going to have the last chance of the game. Again, he tries to cut inside onto his left foot. We couldn't create anything other than that, so it's back-to-back defeats for us in this episode. Not what we wanted at all, and a real damaging blow to our European ambitions. You can see we're now down in 7th place. In terms of points, we are still well in there with a chance of, there's not a massive gap. It's Newcastle up now into 5th. They're having a good season. Man United in 4th. Arsenal in 6th. There's just a few points separating all of us, but Chelsea have kind of taken a runaway lead at the top of the table. Runaway lead, I should say, at the top of the table. Their gap between them and City, who are in 2nd, is now 6 points. Watford, QPR and Villa make up those relegation places, but it is tight at the bottom. West Ham, Middlesbrough and Sunderland just kind of floating above. So not the episode we were looking for, not the kind of form we were looking for. and it's something we need to address sooner rather than later, I must say. Now we're into the second half of this season, so nothing to panic about. It is still in our own hands. We've got a lot of games remaining to put things right. That's going to bring this episode to a close, guys. Thanks for watching. Drop a like and subscribe, and we'll see you again soon.